Hello. Well, I thought you'd never see me in this again, right? You probably figured this costume was done for good, but no. On the day when the market was at its highest point in history, I'm wearing my Paul McCartney Beatles outfit because it's a big day. This is the best day I've had in a long time. I am so short I could jump off a nickel, and it's really cool because there was only two bad things. One of them which wasn't even bad. Yesterday, Carvana came out with their earnings, and the stock exploded higher, even though its PE is like in the hundreds. I was short that. It was a small position. I lost like 15%. I ripped the Band-Aid off last night after hours and was done with it. Then this morning, on the heels of that Meta and Microsoft news, the NQ was up hundreds of points. I was already short the cubes. What did I do? Did I cover the cubes at a loss? No. I shorted tons more. I'm not sure why. I just figured that now is the time, because with prices this high, Meta and Microsoft pushing things up these crazy levels, I was going to get even zanier than before. Because the thing is that I'm not a bear. I'm not a bear. I am the bear. I'm the only one left. There are no others. Show me any others out there. Look at Kramer, if you can, for a second. When has he been bearish? I remember distinctly when he was bearish at the bottom of the market in 2009. And there was an interview with him, and he was speaking very softly for a change, and he was very meek. And he said, I would tell anybody I loved or my family not to go into the stock market. Just don't. Because the man was broken, utterly broken by the fall. At the bottom, he was a bear. Now these days, of course, he's jumping around and in between sentences saying that he worked at Goldman Sachs at one point. Buy, 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 buy. That's it. So there's no others. I'm your only bear left. And having said that, I'm as constant as the Northern Star. I have to do my duty. So when stocks were raging higher this morning, I shorted even more. And so a few days ago, I talked about how lightly positioned I was, 60%, 70%. Those days are gone. I'm back to the old Tim. 200% commitment. Incredibly short. And of course, this afternoon, there's going to be Apple, there's going to be Amazon. Who knows? Microsoft and Meta, they exploded higher. I said yesterday, my dumb guess is that Meta will be weak. Well, that was dumb, wasn't it? Because it's the biggest gainer today. It's added hundreds of billions of dollars to its value. It's higher than it's ever been in history. I'm dumb, but I'm not stupid. I wasn't short the thing. But my wild guess that Meta would be weak was just plain wrong. Everything's up, even old school stuff like eBay. But I think we're in a stock picker's market again. And the reason I say that is because I'm picking stocks. And even at the open, when the NQ was up hundreds of points and everything was green, the ES was up 60, green all over the place. Almost every position I've got was down, which is good because they're short. I always have to qualify that in case anybody gets confused. So at the worst of times, that is to say, this morning when the market was strong, things are going just great. And when things started melting down for no particular reason, I guess because somewhere in the depths of people's hearts, they realized that this is about as good as it gets, things started selling off. So, ideal for me would be, of course, if either Apple or Amazon or both fall this evening, but I'm not counting on it. I'm not relying upon it. These are well-chosen stocks. So the Beatles outfit is here to commemorate this lifetime high day and the fact that we are defying this market, no matter what. So having said that, I've got some symbols loaded. I've got some charts for you, believe it or not. I'd like to talk about them. Let's jump in. We begin, good heavens, I'm in the wrong symbol. We begin with a spider. Here it is, as I said earlier, a lifetime high intraday. We've got a big old bearish engulfing pattern on our hands. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Nothing to get excited about, but it's nice. We've had 4 red bars in a row. Again, not that big a deal, although it does sort of make clear that there's more strength in the morning than at the close. The bulls are running out of proverbial gas because they're able to start strong, but not finish strong. Meta, as I said, which is a stock that I really do hope just goes higher and higher and higher through the years, is at 777, very lucky sounding number. This has been a phenomenal turnaround. Whatever Mark Zuckerberg decided to do was the right thing to do. Sheryl Sandberg clearly was not the cat's pajamas, because she was out of there years ago, and somehow after she left, things got really good. Yeah, up it goes. We've had a tremendous run on Meta. We've gone from the double digits to, who knows, it could be quadruple digits next year. It's just astonishing stock. So that has been a big lift to the market. Microsoft also very green. Although unlike Meta, it's been selling off most of it. It pretty much opened at the high and is trading at the low right now. So it has been selling off and still has about a 4% gain. Nothing like Meta's double-digit percentage return. Meta is retaining all of that strength. But as we look at the NQ here, from this great distance, you can see that the broken channel is still a thing for us, because the channel was the confinement for the NQ ever since late 2022. It broke it with some gusto back in early March, and since then has been steadfastly below it. It tried today to get way above it. You can see right here, this line is just magic. It blasted way above it. No, that channel has power. We sold off hard. We're still below the line. And what would be really spiffy is if we sold off tomorrow well below the line. But look at this, it's astonishing. Now keep in mind, most people see this, which is a bunch of wiggles and squiggles. Simple markups, well chosen, well placed, because I've been doing this since I was a lad, make all the difference. And that's what we're here for, right? Some individual items here doing well. eBay, which I've mentioned before, as a long, very strong lifetime high, coming off of this quite well-formed cup with handle pattern, zipping higher like so. And some similar charts. These haven't reported earnings, but these are kind of similarly situated. You've got Cisco, very long-term base here. You've got Exelon, EXC. You've got Gilead, GILD, and Intuit. I'm showing these only because the kinds of bullish setups they have are similar to what eBay has enjoyed, and also to help diminish the unchecked bearishness of this little segment of ours, just to show you some bullish setups there. But on the whole, I'm focused on the short side of things. There's a couple I definitely missed. ARM Holdings, I used to be really obsessed with. I just started ignoring it for months, really, because it's such an unpredictable beast. You can see that we had a couple of tops here that produced drops. This one didn't produce a thing until later. It's just a mess. So this isn't something I'm not mad at myself, because I wouldn't have traded this anyway. There was no discernible pattern here, but we've got a nice tumble on this one, down almost 14%. This one I'm a little bit upset about, because this is exactly the kind of chart that I dig, because we broke a lifetime trend line here. But here again, this is a good example that even when the stock has lost most of its value, doesn't mean it's done. I mean, this thing went from the 700s down to like 200. So it had already lost the vast majority of its value, and even more vast today, because we've got about a $74 drop on this. So this is worth about a sixth of what it was only back in 2021. Align Technologies, just a cataclysm there. So didn't partake in that. In passing, yesterday I mentioned Netflix, and in particular, we've got two channels here. This is the long-term ascending channel, whose midline I've been pointing out, because the midline was tagged and exceeded briefly here. And now what's going on is that we have a shorter term channel whose midline also, I think, has some weight. And in this instance, we've sunk down, 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 and look at what's going on. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We're kind of finding a happy equilibrium at the midline, finding some support there. I try to avoid Netflix. We don't get along, but I would say at the moment it seems to be finding some level of support. Over in precious metals land, long-term bullish, short-term bearish. continues to sink. SLV, I think, has very firm support down around 31.43. But you can see by way of the miners, like here's the junior miners, we're starting to feel even this kind of level, short-term support. We've slipped below that. Metals in general, I think I'm going to ignore them for a while until they seem like more of a bargain. But at the moment, like I said, I'm very aggressively positioned. I have 30 different short positions, some of them irresponsibly large. And I mean, I'm looking at the list here, just of the 30, like almost all of them are in the red. The only exception is Costco, which is up 1.47%. That's okay. It's still very profitable. I'm going to hang on to that. But a few tidbits from that stack are as follows, and I don't have much time, so I'll go through them quickly. ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch, ELF Beauty, that is the symbol ELF. Hilton Worldwide, HLT. Here's Microchip Technologies, MCHP. On Semiconductor, another one in that sector. This is symbol ON. A little different here, PepsiCo. PEP being the symbol on that one. And a very pretty long-term, massive top on that one. And then, of course, Royal Caribbean. We all love the cruises, right? RCL, this one's down again, over 3.5%. So that's just a little sampler of the dozens of stocks I'm short right now. Of the 30, I think something like 24 equities and 6 are like ETFs, something along those lines. That's roughly it doesn't really matter. But in terms of tonight, the two of the Mag 7 report tonight, 2 did yesterday, both with great success. That will have a big hand in forming the direction of the cubes. This is the cube chart. In this instance, we are still well above this medium-term trend line. We have been very steadily for months now working higher and higher and higher. What's a little bit interesting about today is that we opened very strong lifetime highs and have been sinking all day. At the moment, we are near the day's lows, and we'll almost certainly have a bearish engulfing pattern today. But this is kind of at the mercy of what's coming from the double A team here. So here we have Amazon, AMZN, which is near its own lifetime highs. I don't have a position either this or Apple, but there we are at lifetime highs. I don't have a particular opinion about the direction on that one. And then Apple, AAPL, I was short this until this morning. I went ahead and took profits on that. Not because I think it has a particular chance of blasting higher, but I got other fish to fry. I got other good positions. So I am out of that. So neither Apple nor Amazon I'm in. Given the two, because my meta guess was so wrong yesterday, let me offer you another one. I'm more inclined to say Apple will probably be weak versus Amazon, but I don't have really strong opinions about it, either of these fellas. But
if you're not subscribed, subscribe right here. And if you want to meet me and the team in person at our next live event, hit the link at the top of the description.